Hi, this is Mr. Leake here. Now this homework is all to do with the physics units. And what we're doing here is we're making sure that you've got an incredible knowledge of kind of the units behind the physics. So that when you get into year 10 and year 11, right, then it's kind of like water off a duck's back, you can do it easily. Now, what you're going to be learning is you're going to be learning all of these. Now, if you do triple science and you choose an option in the end of year 9 going into year 10, there's a few more, right? But these are the combined science units that you must know. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it into two, and we're going to go down it in 2 columns. So the first one we're going to do is we're going to do these. I think it's about 14. Okay, so what I'm going to then talk through them. Okay, so we're going to start off, the unit of acceleration, so that is when something is getting faster, is meters per second squared. So m slash, so that little slash there means divide, or you can say it's per second squared. Change it is a percentage, and that tends to be a biology unit. Charge flow, C, is for coulombs. So we're right there, coulombs. Now coulombs is a bit weird because it's a C-O-U-L-O-M-B. Coulomb, it's got a B on the end of it. Current, the A stands for amps. Density is then grams per centimetre cubed. Distance, meters. So for a metre a window in this room that I'm in at the moment, it'll be 5 metres. Energy is joules. So if ever I say the word energy, you always say joules. Extension, if you've got an extension lead for your bedroom, right, it'll be a 3 metre extension lead. Force is newtons. Sir Isaac Newton, the guy that had that apple land on his head, he was called Newton, and that's all about force. Frequency is hertz. An example of hertz is electricity. Now what electricity does, hertz means cycles per second, so electricity travels 50 times backwards and forwards in a second. Hertz. Gravitational field strength is newtons per kilogram. Gravitational potential energy is joules. Height, I am 1.84 meters. And then kinetic energy, which is the energy of movement, is joules. Now, what I want you to do now is I want you to just verbalize these answers, right? So try and remember what acceleration is. Pause the video, have a go, right? If you can't remember them, slide back and kind of reverse the video a little bit and have another look, and then keep on trying it. Then, once you verbalize them, write them down. Okay, so you see the acceleration there, write down what you think it is on a piece of paper and see if you can get all 14. When you've mastered that, move on. These are then the next set, another 14. Mass is in kilograms, okay, kg. Potential difference, that is V. Right? When I was a kid, we always used to call it voltage, but now they call it potential difference, volts. Power, watts. So a light bulb could be 60 watts. Your mobile phone could be 1 watt. It's the power of something. Resistance is in that funny little shape there, which is called an ohm, which is OHM. Okay, but you need to write the symbol. Now this is my favourite one of them all, right? Specific heat capacity. And it is joules per kilogram degrees C. Now that's good because it's an unusual unit, and also there's a required practical about it. So there's a pretty good chance that'll be on your exam. Speed, how fast something is going, is meters per second. Spring constant, okay, is again a required practical that you're going to need, and it's newtons per meter. Time in seconds, velocity in meters per second. Volume, centimetre cubed, or it could be meters cubed. Wavelength, length means meters. Wave speed, think about where we talked about speed before, meters per second. Weight is newtons. You'll get talks about that in class, about the difference between mass and weight. But basically, mass is the number of particles that make you up. So therefore, your mass doesn't change if you go to the moon, because you're still the same number of particles. Where weight is the force that you're applying to the ground. Okay? Work done, joules. So I'm doing work now, I'm talking, and what I'm doing is I'm using up joules, which is the work I'm doing. Right, now I want you to do the same thing. Verbalise your answers. Try and go right from the top all the way down to the bottom. When you're starting to get them all right, write them down on a piece of paper. Okay? And then once you've written them down on a piece of paper, then you're looking pretty good, right, as this is a homework. Back to them all again. There they are, right? Every single one of the 28 units that you then need. Blank, test yourself. Start at acceleration and see if you can now verbalize and you can get through every single one of them. Okay, which would be absolutely brilliant. Right now, once you've done that and you can get all 28 right, then what I want you to do is just pause the video, do it again, because there's never any harm in keeping on doing it again, and then just go to the little subscription button below, right, and then just subscribe to this channel, so that then when there is extra kind of bits of information that then comes up in the future, you'll then be able to get to know it.